What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your evening. So, I'm not sure if you heard about the story that came out a few days ago. And to be honest, I thought it would have died down by now, but since it has not, I thought I would bring this story to you. So, a lot of people are still upset at the fact that Michael was just standing, just minding his business, hands clasped together, in front of him while the Star Spangled Banner played. And he wasn't doing anything disrespectfully. He wasn't like holding up his middle finger. He wasn't taking a knee or, anything that would, in my mind, signify something that other people would think was disrespectful. He was just standing there, you know, silently. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. People are still outraged and they are calling for this man to lose his livelihood. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not North Korea. This is not Russia. Like, this is not something in my mind that was anything significant until recently, and it has not died down. This caption that I put here, um, I wanted to highlight it, and Michael made a statement, and I'll play that in a little bit. But the reason why I thought this was significant was the fact that one, they're saying that it's America, which is false. Okay. Um, Typically when they say America, they mean a very certain demographic, right? Typically the major, um, the dominant demographic here in this country, but you can't generalize the whole country. But it says that America refuses to forgive Michael Strahan as calls mount for $65 million Fox broadcaster. So they have to pocket watch and they have to let you know how much he makes per year. And I think that's what the outrage is, that this man, this black man, is making $65 million a year at Fox and he's a broadcaster, and they're outraged because just standing there, respectfully just listening to our national anthem, if you don't have your hand over your heart, he's a grown man. It's not like, he was doing some obscene gesture or, something that was just, harmed anybody or, causing a scene or anything like that. And another thing, I remember talking to some of my friends, and they were talking about how Americans, we play our national anthem like a lot more often than other countries do. We do things that certain people would consider patriotic here, but it's really weird to the rest of the world. Like, for instance, pledging allegiance to the flag. Other countries don't pledge allegiance to their flag. That is and like all these, Republicans and far right people are talking about indoctrination. That's the definition of indoctrinating young kids during formative years. Why would you have to repeat a pledge of allegiance to a piece of cloth and an inanimate object? I just sometimes I am just speechless at how this country functions at times. And we haven't even, you know, gotten into the upcoming administration that is all about fake news, alternative facts, and all those things. I don't think I've ever seen Donald Trump put his hand over his heart. He can do no wrong. I get it to majority of this country, but it's the fact that Michael Strahan just was probably thinking about his sick daughter who has cancer or, a million other things I'm sure was probably going through his mind. Well, these people, in my opinion, are just outraged at every little thing that people do. It reminds me of the tan suit. that President Obama wore. I'm going to let you guys hear the statement from Michael's own words, and then I'll give some commentary at the end.
Everybody, is Michael here, and I want to address what happened this past weekend. And I feel like I need to address it because it spilled over to the point where I get out of my car today and I'm ambushed by a media outlet here at my house, which I'm not proud of the way I handled that whole situation. But I think anybody out there can understand the things you're going to do. You're going to protect your family and you're going to protect your home, which is what I felt like I needed to do in that moment. And it all stemmed from this past weekend in San Diego with my Fox crew. 2 days in San Diego with the Navy SEALs and with all the other sailors there. And then a 2-hour show praising the military and all that they've done for us, celebrating Veterans Day. And we had our national anthem. I didn't have my hand over my chest. Everyone thought he's protesting. He's making a statement, which is so far from the truth. I have nothing to protest. I have no statement to be made. The only statement that should be made and that I want to make is I love the military. I've always loved the military, and I will always love the military. I do so many programs to help veterans and soldiers. I grew up on a military base with a father who's a major in the Army. My brother, my sister, my cousins, they all served in the military. I'm a military brat. And so the fact of somebody saying that, I'm unpatriotic, couldn't be any further from the truth. And if you want the truth, I'll tell you the truth, is that I was caught up in the moment. I'm looking at all these young sailors standing there at attention before the national anthem played, and I'm thinking to myself, how incredible. How incredible to be that young and to know that you want to do this. Like, it's such a commitment, but you're willing to commit to something that gives us our freedoms. Plain and simple. I'm just sitting there in amazement, in which I'm always amazed because I don't take it for granted no matter where we go around the world, from Afghanistan to all the military institutions here in this country. And by the time I looked up from that moment, all my 5 guys had their hands over their heart, the national anthem playing. I somewhat panicked, and I'm like, do I be the fool that puts his hand over his heart after? Or do I just stand here with my hand in front of me respectfully? Which that's what I did. That's what happened. And if that offended any of our military and veterans, I apologize to you, because that was never my intent. I'm a product of the military, a proud lover of the military, and a proud lover of all those who served before, now, and who will serve in the future.
So I wanted you guys to hear that from Michael himself, because he sounds like someone who has such a great appreciation for our servicemen and women. And I'm grateful as well. I have a lot of family members who served in the military. And I am just, at a loss for words at the things that people choose to get outraged about, right? Like, all he was doing was just standing there observing the national anthem with his hands in front of him, and people are upset about that. Again, I think the root of the problem goes a lot deeper than him just standing there, like he says, in awe of men and women in uniform willing to give their lives for this country. And I don't think that the fact that he was sitting there without his hand over his heart is the issue at all. Similarly, right, when Michelle Obama wanted to make our school lunches healthier, and she was talking about, eating healthier in school and more nutritious food, people were outraged. However, we have RFK Jr., right, pretty much say the same thing, and it's okay. They were upset at Michelle Obama's bare arms, right? Her arms were toned. But there's pictures of Melania completely nude all up and down the internet feed, and nobody says a word. Melania says F Christmas. They don't care. Melania's not even going to be in the White House this upcoming term. I mean, the double standards are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. I really hope that Michael Strahan does not lose his job. Again, he has a daughter, and I pray for her. I pray that for, her healing. that she's going through cancer battles. He's going through his own issues, you know. And the fact that people are so concerned about how much he's making here, they put it in the title. I'm like, that is just ridiculous. I've never seen where somebody would put um, a white male sportscaster or journalist how much they make, their annual salary in the title of a news article. Even in the case of them, embezzlement or fraud, right? So I hope that he doesn't take it personally. It's crazy though that the media will be outside of his house and that he's ambushed everywhere he goes. And I'm thinking to myself, this is supposed to be the land of the free, right? That's a part of what we were indoctrinated to believe as children, in addition to the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm trying to think. I don't even remember. Um, I think I don't know. I stopped standing up for um I don't even remember how many times we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance when we were kids. But I remember just questioning it and stopped saying it. And I don't know. I always thought it was really weird. But then when I started talking to some of my friends and started, studying other countries and world history specifically, then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's a dangerous precedent that we're setting in this country. The culture is changing. It's becoming really volatile. A lot of people are just enraged for the smallest things. You know, it's really. I mean, our whole government. We don't have any system. We don't have any checks or balances in this upcoming administration. The House, the Senate, the executive branch with Trump and the majority of the Supreme Court are all right. They're all Republicans, majority. And it's just like that is that's concerning because this isn't the Republican Party of yesteryear. This is essentially Trump's party, and the Supreme Court gave him immunity. So, despite him being a convicted felon, despite him being, having all these crimes, um, majority of this country put this man in office despite all of those things. And so now they're going after a lot of people, in my opinion, because I keep seeing these cases of these high profile people of color that they're going after for just the smallest infraction. And to me, that's not even an infraction, just standing there with your hands in front of you. That's not anything wrong. But according to them, that's a reason to lose your job, which is crazy because Matt Gaetz is about to be the attorney general if he's, put in office. And I'm like, he is under investigation right now. So is the president, right? Attorney General Tish James from New York is still planning on prosecuting him. He could literally serve all 4 years in a jail cell. I don't think that he will, but I'm saying that he could according to the law. This is the country is like topsy turvy here. But I hope that Michael is okay. I hope that his daughter is okay. I hope that people get a life, leave him alone, and stop harassing him over something that's not even an issue. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. Do you guys think that that's a reason to lose your job? Oh my goodness. Ay ay ay, where are we at in this country? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.